Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with kind of a different video. This is going to be my first E3 that I'm kind of covering on my own, on my channel, because, you know, I was doing this elsewhere, and this is the first time that I'm not, so I'm going to be covering E3. So with E3 literally just a couple of days away, I figured I'd start off with doing a E3 prediction video. I'm gonna put on my psychic hat, and I'm going to reach into the future and predict things. Also, I am not psychic, so there's a good chance that 99% of this is going to be completely inaccurate. But I figure this is fun. Let's do this. And I'd like to hear your E3 predictions. What do you want to see? What do you expect to see? Leave me all of that in the comments, because I want to know what you guys are thinking about all of this. Because this year's E3 is either going to be really amazing, everything's going to come out of left field, or it's going to be completely boring. So, without further ado, let's get started. First off, I'm going to start with the three main companies, and I'm going to talk about two smaller companies. Maybe take pot shots at a couple other companies in the process. Let's see. So first off, Nintendo, Big N. What are they doing? Nothing. They've pretty much already said what they are doing. They are only really having Zelda on the floor. They don't have a conference event. They're going to have their direct and their treehouse and whatnot, and they've kind of already shot themselves in the foot with it. They've basically said, we're just going to focus on Zelda. But I have a feeling that they're going to listen a little bit to public outcry and be like, you kind of got to show something, just a little bit. And they're probably going to show off some more of the new Pokemon Sun and Moon. They're going to have a little bit of that. And then mostly I would say they're going to be focusing on indie titles. They're going to have some of the... That was the last direct that I remember seeing from them, was just, hey, look at all these indie titles that we've got on our eShop. That some of them have been available on, other consoles and Steam for ever at that point. So that's what I'm kind of expecting from them. Hey, we're gonna try to pad this a little more. Whoever is at E3 and they get to have the hands-on with Zelda, I have a feeling that's going to paint the experience a little differently, because from all of the reports said that it's going to be like a 90-minute demo of Zelda. So I'm thinking that that's where they're really hedging their bets, on the people who actually get a chance to try this out. Now, whether or not they're going to release a demo for other people to play it or get to try it out themselves, that would be wonderful, but that would also be smart, and so therefore I'm expecting it to not happen. So that's my prediction for Nintendo. Not a lot going on behind the hood there. So next up, we've got Sony. And Sony really just kind of kicked the crap out of last E3. They just came out on stage, like, hey, we got Shenmue 3, we got Final Fantasy 7, we got Last Guardian. This year, I think it's going to be, we've got Shenmue 3, we got Final Fantasy 7, we've got Last Guardian. Because those three things have not come out yet. And so, therefore, that's what they're going to probably keep trying to hype. They might have another God of War game, I think, maybe. It might just be like another reprint. You get like the God of War collection on PS4. I don't know. But I really think it's going to stick with what they've got. They're probably, if there is any more Final Fantasy 7 information, it's going to be split between Sony and Square. But Sony, typically goes first, so it'll probably be debuted there. So, and then Shenmue 3 got off the ground in record time and just blew everyone's expectations away. So I'm expecting maybe some gameplay footage of that this year. And then Last Guardian, we got information about it last year, and I'm still waiting for it. Granted, I will admit, it's not one that's, it's not a game that I've been personally hyped up about, but I know so many people that have, that I can feel the seething anger from them that it's still not available. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more information on those. So that I would expect to be Sony's conference, is basically just, hey, remember how great it was last year? It's still coming. Just trust us, please. So that's what I'm expecting the Sony conference to be like. What do we got next? Microsoft. Microsoft has not even been on my radar the last year. I don't even remember what was at last E3 for Microsoft. It's not a company that kind of, I'm not their target demographic, obviously. So what I'm expecting from them is some hyper-realistic first and third-party shooters, some of them involving animals, or dinosaurs, or maybe robots. That's what I'm expecting from Sony. Maybe we get like Sunset Overdrive 2, maybe I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, I'm sitting here racking my brain. Maybe new Halo? No, that's not gonna happen. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, first-party Microsoft titles that are like... they'll probably come out with some sort of, huge tech announcement that there's going to be, they're turning the Xbox One into a mini PC, kind of like the original Xbox, and they're going to allow, some sort of interaction between the PC market and the Xbox One market for games for Windows and things like that. And just that's what I'm expecting. Something that, sounds neat, on paper, technologically, but whether or not it actually generates a lot of hype is yet to be seen. So that's probably what's going to happen with them. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, they are so far not on my radar. That one I'm just like... So, Square. Square one we'll talk about. Probably more information on Final Fantasy 15. Maybe some more information on Final Fantasy 14. There hasn't really been a lot of... I've heard bits and pieces about, minor updates here and there. But they had Heavensward come out not too long ago. So I'm expecting maybe they're going to talk about an upcoming expansion. Keep that hype train rolling. Considering, Final Fantasy XIV was just a disaster of a game when it came out. And then they were able to, bring it back with a Realm Reborn and just completely pull a 180, which... That's a miracle in the gaming industry, to take a game that was that bad off and turn it into something even remotely resembling a success. So, I mean, the MMO scene's not exactly what it used to be these days, but, 14's still going and it's got the Final Fantasy brand behind it. I'm expecting some news on that. Maybe, hopefully, some more news on Final Fantasy VII, like I said, about the Sony bit. We might, get, a release date on when the first chapter is going to come out, or maybe some more gameplay footage, Maybe for the people who are there, a demo would be great. Another thing that would be great is if Square remembered that Dragon Quest is a thing, and that people would like Dragon Quest games as well. Just saying. Make some of the older games available on, digital platforms, or, the newer games available, because I forget what number they're... I want to say they're up to Dragon Quest 11, and we're still waiting for it. They're supposed to be the 3DS and... console version. I forget what console it's coming out on, because that's the thing. It's like it's got no information. So maybe remember that Dragon Quest is a thing. People be happy. Konami will announce that it's doing something that just pisses off the fans again. They're going to announce a great game. Konami and Capcom are both going to announce a great game, and then it will subsequently be canceled 3 months later and piss off fans. That's what's going to happen with Konami and Capcom. I don't know, maybe Capcom has a chance of doing something, because depending on the success or failure of Mighty No. 9, they might just be sitting there biding their time being like, hey, remember that Mega Man? Mega Man was good, right? We've kind of got a Mega Man... that's what I'm expecting. So, Konami... Basically the same thing for Castlevania. It's like, hey, Bloodstained. Except Bloodstained looks like it's actually probably going to do very well. I'm really excited for Bloodstained. So, I'm expecting Konami to be like, hey, that Bloodstained game. Remember, we've got Castlevania. We turned it into a pachinko machine with nudity. Remember that? So, yeah. And then last but not least is going to be Sega. Sega, they've already kind of said what they're going to have. They have a booth. They don't really have a presentation. So they've got the booth set up, and they've already said what's going to be at the booth. But I have a feeling they're going to pull just a complete, social PR experiment and just announce a brand new console right off the bat that's capable of 4K gaming, 120 FPS minimum, launch for $100, and have this amazing launch titles of a brand new Shining game done by Camelot. They've been working in secret for months. A new Streets of Rage game that's just fantastic. A brand new Panzer Dragoon game that's both the original Panzer Dragoon games and Panzer Dragoon Saga at the same time. It's going to somehow be on-rail shooter with RPG elements that just blow everyone's mind. And, of course, Sega learned from the last time they launched a console without a Sonic game. Of course, this will have the brand new Sonic Boom game. If you can't tell by now, I'm just completely... Yeah. I really hope you guys could tell the sarcasm on that one. So yeah, no, Sega's already announced what they're going to do, so I'm not expecting anything major. Maybe some announcement of they're going to do more with the Steam modification thing that they've been allowing for their classics collections, the modifications thereof. So maybe something like that, but maybe add more games to that list that's going to be capable of supporting that. But no. But yeah, those are my E3 predictions. Just, quick right off the bat. I'm not going to cover Ubisoft or EA because I don't really follow them. I very rarely play games that they put out these days. So I'm sure there are people who are huge fans of them, but they could tell me more. And if either of those two companies are, expecting something major, like I said, let me know your thoughts, what your predictions are, what you would hope to see. I might do a what I would love to see at E3 that I know will never happen, much like what I just said for Sega. But let me know your E3 predictions. What are you expecting to see? And I might do a video on what I would hope to see at E3. If I could hope upon hope and dream upon dreams and wish upon a star, what would I want to see at E3? So I might do that video and put that up a couple of days before E3 officially starts. Like I said, let me know your predictions. What do you expect to see at E3 this year? Because I'd like to hear it. And I will see you all throughout E3. So stay tuned for this hype train that's either going to go all over the place or it's going to go off the rails and crash and burn, and film will be 11. So see you guys for E3. Later, everyone.